Inside the Lines is brought to you by Hendrick Honda of Charleston. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit their showroom at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com. Welcome to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. I'm Jeff McCarriger. We come to you from, once again, inside TD Arena here in downtown Charleston. As always, a lot to talk about. The men's basketball team on a roll, the women's team coming off a win. We'll also talk a little men's tennis and sailing as well. But first things first, let's start on the men's side. The guys have won 3 straight, looking for their 4th win in a row as they took on UNC Greensboro here inside TD Arena. New Cougar head coach Doug Wojcik trying to help the Cougars snap a 2-game losing streak to UNC Greensboro. Lost both games of the series last year to the Spartans. Right away, a good start for the College of Charleston from the corner. Anthony Thomas, a 3-pointer, and Charleston takes the early lead. Good kick out from Trent Wiedemann. This time, Nori Johnson for 3. Always good when Nori's hitting 3-pointers off the bench. More College of Charleston. This time, Andrew Lawrence works it underneath to the big fella, Trent Wiedemann. Big 2-hand jam for him. Andrew Lawrence going to take it himself this time. A deep 3 from the left wing, and the College of Charleston starts to open up a big lead. This time defense. Stitt with the strip, lead pass. Andrew Lawrence wide open, a 36-19 lead for CFC. Again later, more Lawrence on the drive off the glass. Not sure it was intended to be an alley-oop, but Trent Wiedemann right there to jam it in. Good play by Trent. Andrew Lawrence, a big game, a 3 there. He had 16 points, 6 assists, just 1 turnover. So good night for the team captain. Stitt down low to Baru. Look at the elevation. And a bucket. Count the basket and a foul. Baru would head to the free throw line. A big lead for the College of Charleston gets even bigger. Look at this play. Up top, Willis Hall to Ajay Baru, 72-54 College of Charleston. This time off the tip. UNCG gets blocked by Theo Johnson. Theo's been playing some great minutes off the bench. And here in the waning moments, one last attempt for the Spartans, and Charleston with a huge win, 81-59 as the College of Charleston. And Doug Wojcik now have won 4 straight, 11 of their last 14. Here are the latest Southern Conference standings now up to date in the South Division. Davidson still in first place at 10-1, 15-7 overall. College of Charleston 8-3. And look at the Cougars, still the most wins overall this season now. 16 wins for Coach Wojcik and his squad as the Cougars are 16-7. Georgia Southern now 3 games back in the loss column at 4-6. Furman 3-6, the Citadel 3-8, and Wofford rounds out the South. Out of the North, all the teams bunched up right now. A heck of a race going on. Elon at 8-2. They have 15 wins overall. And then next up in the North Division is Samford right there in second place at 5-4. But then look at App State, Western, UNCG, and then Chattanooga. Really none of those teams out of it right now for second place in the North Division. And for more on this 4-game winning streak by the Cougars, bring in former all-conference guard here at the College of Charleston, Danny Johnson. You can also hear him on the radio broadcast with Everett. Danny, thanks for stopping by. The Cougars obviously have won 4 straight. Big win over UNC Greensboro, 5 players in double figures. Let's just start with Trent Wiedemann. He's really been playing well.
Yeah, he's playing unbelievable. You know, he had a tough time with some injuries early in the year, but now I think he's found his rhythm. He's got his bounce back, and he's really been highly improved. I mean, he's just getting better and better every game.
Always good to be healthy, obviously, too, for Trent. Great to have him back in the lineup. And, you know, the bench scoring, I think they got about 26 or 27 points off the bench, and obviously Trent, a big part of that.
That's right. And anytime you get big contributions off the bench and you don't expect that, it's just a bonus for your team. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be 4, it's going to be 30. If you're getting that 20-point, 25-point area off your bench, you usually got a good success rate to win.
You're a former guard here at the College of Charleston. How about Andrew Lawrence? 6 assists, only 1 turnover.
That's unbelievable. I mean, your assist-to-turnover rate is great right there. If he can do that every game, I'm sure Coach Wojcik could be really happy about that.
Again, the Cougars have won 4 straight. The big question that we have for you now is what has been the difference for the College of Charleston over these last 4 games? When you look at their stats, first 19 games of the year, they were averaging just under 64 points per game, and their assist-to-turnover ratio was just under 1. And now look at this. Over the last 4 games, they're averaging over 75 points a game, and there you see the assist-to-turnover ratio now at 1.5. What's been the big difference over these last 4 games?
Just that. I mean, when your assist-to-turnover ratio goes up like that, that means there's more opportunity for baskets. And when you score baskets, you score more points. That's just how it works. And also with the emergence of Trent playing better, and I think just the team and all being more comfortable with the system here. And you add all those things together, and usually offensively it gets better as the year goes on.
That's a good point. Obviously, it does take time. Anytime you play for a new coach, you started your career at Clemson before coming here to the College of Charleston. Always an adjustment period.
That's right, and it's tough to do. It takes a while most of the time. I think the average is probably mid-season. About mid-season, you figure your stride out, and you start to get better and get better, and hopefully peak at the end.
Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Here's a look at the next 3 games for the College of Charleston. 2 big ones on the road. On Thursday against Samford, you can catch the action on ESPN Radio 910. And then on the road on Saturday again at Chattanooga. Cougars and the Mocs as they'll meet for the second time this season. And then finally, big matchup on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Davidson against the College of Charleston. You can hear it on ESPN Radio 910 and watch it here locally on MyTV Charleston and ESPN3. Switching gears now, we go from the men's side over to women's basketball, where Natasha Adair and the girls were also taking on UNCG this week. Education Day out at TD Arena here in downtown Charleston. A lot of kids getting the day off from local elementary schools here around the area. Always good to get time off at school. Coming out and see the Lady Cougars taking on the UNCG Spartans. Early on, Letitia Harris with the jumper, and the College of Charleston off to an early lead. Just moments later, and yes, more Harris, this time in the block, a strong move off the glass as the Cougars extend their lead. Later on, more inside action, Freya Tolbert with a little jumper, and that one's good. Now Shannon Hines in the lane, a little runner, and Charleston starts to open up their lead, a 7-point lead at the time. Now more Harris, this time from the left side, a jumper is good, and the Cougars would have a nice lead at the break. Second half. Fry no good, but Michaela Hopkins right there with the putback, and the Cougars with a 43-29 lead. Here's more Tolbert inside, off the glass, off the drive. That one's good. And then later, Tolbert again for 3. Knocks that one down. The Cougars with an 11-point lead. Now more Alyssa Fry, having a heck of a season. There's a 3-pointer from the right side. And more Fry, this time just inside the arc. A 2-pointer that time. Charleston with the lead, 55-44. They go on to win it by 20, 63-43. 3 players in double figures for the College of Charleston. There you see Alyssa Fry with 15 points, 7 of those points coming from the free throw line. She was 7 of 9. And how about Tolbert and Letitia Harris, both of them with double-doubles. Tolbert with 14 points to go along with 12 rebounds. And Harris 14 and 13, as she was also 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Next 3 games for the College of Charleston women's basketball team looks like this. The Cougars will take on Georgia Southern on Saturday at 5, and then a big game at Davidson on the road on Monday at 7 o'clock. And then the final game there in that little 3-game set. Chattanooga comes to town to take on the Cougars on the 16th of February here at home, a game you can catch on ESPN3. Once again, congratulations to both the men's and women's teams, both of them knocking off UNCG this week. Good week on the hard court. When we come back, we'll switch things up a little bit, talk a little men's tennis and sailing as well, right here on Inside the Lines on CFCSports.com.
At Hendrick Honda of Charleston, you get our best price every day. When you buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, our Advantage program takes care of you for life. We offer a lifetime powertrain limited warranty, free towing and shuttle service, complimentary loaner cars, and paintless dent repair. Make Hendrick Honda of Charleston your first choice for your next vehicle. Visit us today at 1478 Savannah Highway in Charleston or online at charlestonhonda.com.
Welcome back to Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com, presented by Hendrick Honda over on Savannah Highway. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Just talked about the men's and women's basketball teams, both coming off wins. And now we go from basketball over to sailing. Sailing team in action in the SESA Championships, their first sailing event since a second-place finish out of 30 teams at the Rose Bowl back in January. Last time they were in the SESA Fall Championships from October 27th and the 28th, they finished first out of 12 teams.
We sailed down in St. Pete at Eckerd, the USF, a lot, and I think we're pretty comfortable sailing down there, which is nice. We have the national championships are going to be hosted down there this spring, so you know, it's just nice to be able to get down there and compete and kind of get ourselves prepared for that. Yeah, we're really excited for the spring season. We have a really deep team, and they've been a really great bunch of kids that are working really hard, so we're looking forward to a really awesome season.
We'll wrap things up with a look at men's tennis. Currently, the Cougars are at 1-1, and they are about ready to start a long road stretch that will last until March. The team coming up next will take on Presbyterian and UNC Charlotte. That'll wrap things up on this week's episode of Inside the Lines here on CFCSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll come to you each and every week here on CFCSports.com. It's presented by Hendrick Honda of Charleston over on Savannah Highway. By the way, a reminder for you, if you have any questions or comments at all for any of the players or coaches, we'd love to pass those along to them. Make sure you tweet us at Jeff_CFC. That's at Jeff_CFC. That'll do it for this week's show. We'll see you again next week here on Inside the Lines.